The Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 career debacle is still ongoing and Activision isn't making anything better. First, they said that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 will be remade in the classic 2-minute format. Fans of the original weren't happy, while others like me understood the change. This news spawned many creators to say that there was no career mode. I made a video explaining what exactly we meant when we were saying that, as some people weren't familiar with the franchise thought there was literally no career mode at all versus the career mode being changed. Despite people's disappointment, gamers are accepting that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 Remake is just a different game compared to the 6th generation classic. That's until this video came out. Activision has now opened a can of worms. What do they mean by this? Some fans think that this means that the career mode is back as it was in its original state. But I think we're being misled. Looks like it's time for another Tony Hawk Pro Skater history lesson. If you look at what I'm calling the "there's no career mode" footage, you'll see a series of cutscenes. Cutscenes are heavily associated with Pro Skater 4. So by seeing them in this trailer, it makes sense that some fans think that the career mode is restored as it originally was. Not only is this clip very vague and short, but people's excitement is causing some memory loss. Even veterans of the Tony Hawk franchise, such as Andy THPS, spoke about this video, and even he forgot some key features from classic Tony Hawk games that made him kind of second guess what we're seeing in this video. If a guy like him can get confused, someone that's been playing these games and even worked on these games for years, I think that some other people not so familiar with Tony Hawk may be forgetting some things about the franchise. First, let me tell you what I think we're seeing in this video. In Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, we saw the introduction to a new goal system where we had a dynamic camera that showed off all the goals to us before we started the level. In the past, we got a list of all the goals in the level before jumping in, but in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, we got a dynamic camera. It showed off all the goals with cool little cutscenes. I believe some of the things that we're seeing in this new "there is no career mode" footage is just a montage of the goals before you start a level. If I'm correct on this, I don't like the fact that they dropped this video in this context because it can cause confusion. Fans are already having a hard time with the change to the career mode in Pro Skater 4, and tricking them isn't going to help anything, and all it's going to do is cause people confusion, and it might even start to piss people off. The confusion doesn't stop there. We see a mission in Pro Skater 4 being shown off in this new footage where you have to save the painter from a shark. In Pro Skater 4, the original, you had to grind on these wires to release this boulder that will save him from the shark. In the Pro Skater 4 remake, a wall plant pushes the boulder to save the painter. Both versions have a cutscene, but notice the 2 minutes in the remake at the top of the screen. Now, goals in Pro Skater 4 also had individual timers, but I don't think that's what we're seeing in the remake. I think that what we're seeing is just the traditional 2 minutes that runs throughout the entire level. I think what we're actually seeing in this footage is how they remade that mission to fit the 2-minute format for Pro Skater 4 Remake, which they said they were going to do, that all the missions were going to be remade to fit the format, and I think that's a sample of how they're going to go about doing it, at least in this level. So what about the cutscene? Wouldn't the cutscene with the boulder cause the player to lose their time? Well, no. We gotta go back to other Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, and in fact, we should go to the one that's bundled in with Pro Skater 4, Pro Skater 3. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 introduced many cutscenes in its 2-minute format. Stopping the bully and activating this lift in Canada, knocking the foreman into the water on Foundry, even getting the tall man this axe played a cutscene in Suburbia. These cutscenes did not last long, and they didn't screw with the timer. The devs simply froze the clock while these played out and then resumed once they were done. Knowing all this information, I believe that's what we're going to see with the boulder in Pro Skater 4 Remake. So for anyone that thinks that we're getting the original career, I'm sorry to say that this video really doesn't hint to that at all. Now there is hope that maybe what we'll get is the traditional career mode and some type of classic mode for Pro Skater 4. But again, that is just something people are hoping for. There is still no indication that will even come. Either way, I'm still looking forward to the remake, but at the same time, I do not like this video, not because it doesn't show off cool features and how some missions will look in the remake, but I don't like the framing of it. People don't think there's going to be a career mode at all, so I guess I can kind of understand why they put this out there. But if you know the full story, people are saying that the career mode is different. And by showing them things that will make them think that it's going to be how it was originally, and even letting the people in the comment section say that without correcting them, is not going to fare well once we get closer to launch and they realize it's really just a 2-minute format. This is why I believe Activision should be very clear in their messaging and stop playing with the fans. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this little history lesson helped you. If you guys liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. All that helps the channel. And check out my other Tony Hawk videos or videos on other video games. Peace out, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.